Hi, I'm Daniel Foley, author of 7 Dates with Jesus, Crossing Over into Abundant Life. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit more about one of the things that happens every year in the spring, which is growth. So you think about outside, everything's growing. The grass is growing, the plants are growing, everything is growing, and that should include us as well. So in the springtime every year, my experience has been that God starts to talk to you about some new skills that He wants you to start developing, to be growing in something new, because spring is a time of newness and a time of growth. So you should be looking to take your skills up a level in some area that maybe you're not as good at, maybe you've never even done it before. But the problem comes in from most people, what I've learned, unfortunately, is that we let our fears hold us back. We don't have faith in God or in ourselves that we can figure it out, that we can do it. Because, maybe you want to learn a new language or play an instrument or learn business better, or learn marketing better, or take that class that you've been wanting to take, learn some new skills, whatever it may be. A lot of people are not willing to try because when they look at it on the surface, it looks too overwhelming. It's going to be too hard. There's too much to learn. It's going to take too much time. I can't do it. I can't figure it out. I'm not good at that. But you can learn to do anything. I don't care what it is, you can learn to do anything. You've got the Spirit of God living inside of you. You've got the Holy Spirit to teach you everything you need to know. You can learn to do anything, but just realize that there's going to be some times when you're learning new skills, learning new things, that you get frustrated, you get overwhelmed, you get confused, you get, all these things that come along with learning new skills. Just like a baby, when they're learning to walk, they fall down a few times when they first get going, but eventually they figure it out. And that's what I want to kind of emphasize to you is whatever those new skills you've been thinking about, like, hey, I really want to learn that, you can do it and you can learn to master it if you're just willing to put in the work and really just willing to try and be consistent with it. So a couple things to keep in mind when it comes to learning new skills. Number one, every area of skill development has its own language. So if you want to learn fitness, you want to learn nutrition, you want to learn marketing, you want to learn anything that's out there, it has its own language. So music, anything that's out there has its own language. For example, in music, you got to learn about, if you're playing the guitar, frets and notes and chords and all these types of things. You got to learn the language and what things are called. If you want to learn fitness, you got to learn about deadlifts and squats and bench press and pull-ups and handstands and all these different things. You need to learn the language, so to speak. So a lot of times people get overwhelmed just by the language because they don't know what things mean, so to speak. And it takes a little while to learn the language. That's number one. So give yourself some time and have some patience with yourself to just get familiar with the terms. The more you're around them, the more you watch them, the more familiar you're going to get with them. But this is where you need to spend some kind of book learning time, so to speak. Could be reading, could be listening, could be watching videos, but you need to spend kind of some classroom time learning the language, getting familiar with the terms, getting familiar with how things are supposed to be done. But then there's only so much you can learn from a book. You need to get out there and you need to start practicing. So you need to learn and then you need to practice. You need to learn, then you need to practice. And typically in whatever field that you want to get better in, you want to develop skills in, there's usually maybe 3 to 5 things that are kind of the key fundamentals that if you just master those, usually you're going to be better than 80-90% of the people out there. And so figure out what those key fundamentals are that you need to learn and just start practicing them on a daily basis. Even 5 to 10 minutes on a daily basis, you do that for a year, you'll get pretty good at things. So a combination, you got to have book learning, you got to have practice time, and then number 3 is you got to have some challenge along the way a little bit as well. So practicing those fundamentals, but then every now and then throw in a little challenge to try to take your skills up to the next level. Maybe once a week you learn a music and you've been practicing your chords all week long, and then now you try to actually play a song and see how it goes, see if you can get better. Try a little bit of challenge. But the biggest thing is I want to emphasize for you is most people don't do this because they don't think that they can, and they're not even willing to try because it looks too overwhelming, looks too big to learn how to do something new. But I want to emphasize, you can do it. You can do anything you set your mind to. You can learn new languages, you can learn music, you can learn business, marketing, you can take that class that you want to take, you can learn about health and fitness, you can learn about finances. Whatever it is that you want to become more skillful in, you can do, but you got to be willing to try and just put into practice with these steps along the way.